Hi, it's your girl Jennifer here again with another video. Welcome to Against All Odds. I hope you've been doing well, and today I have something very hot for you. Have you ever had a dream and you saw that dream snatched away from you? Welcome to this story. This is a story about my American dream. He killed my American dream. Do you want to know how? Welcome. So, no wasting time. We just get onto the story and to the business of the day. Remember, I'm all about mental health. So, whatever I'm saying, whatever I'm doing is all connected to mental health. So, very, very many years ago, maybe close to 17, 18 to 19 years ago. Am I trying to disclose my age? Hope not. But anyway, so many years ago, I had this dream to go to America. My two brothers are in the States, so definitely at that time I had just finished high school. After finishing high school, went to college, and after finishing college, I thought my brothers had gone to the US, so why not go to the US and further my studies? And I believe back then it was almost the in thing to go to the US to do your studies, and definitely for a better life and live the American dream. So yeah, I got into the wave of things and started my process of going to the US. So I was going to the United States of America to study. So I went, I don't even remember the name of the university I was going to then. I think it was University of Michigan. Anyway, I don't remember very well the name of the university, but because I was getting assistance from my brothers, my cousins, and some friends who were already in the US, they did that paperwork. So I got my I-20, and definitely what is the next thing? To go and do an interview at the US Embassy in Gigiri. So I went for the interview. The first time, I got refused. I'm telling you, it was devastating. But for me, I'm not one to give up. And why for me it was devastating is because my cousins and my brothers, when they went to the US Embassy, they got their visas on the first attempt, on the first shot. So for me to go, it was almost obvious that in my first attempt of applying, I will get it. But unfortunately, I did not get it. So it was very, very frustrating, I can promise you. But as frustrating as it was, I didn't lose hope. So applied for another I-20, and I did another. I reapplied for an interview. That time interviews weren't very hard to get. So reapplied for another I-20, got myself another interview. And as you can guess, by the second time again, I was refused. My goodness, this was bad. It was really bad. So definitely, when I don't know if anybody has tried to do this, to go to the US or to any country, most of the people, once you're refused the first time, the second time, you give up completely. And yes, even me, that is what I did. I decided to give up completely about trying to go to the US because it felt like, why am I doing all these things? My parents have invested a lot of money. My brothers have done so much, the friends, the cousins that are involved. So why? So definitely I gave up. But then, because that time I was young, when you're trying to do this American thing, going to the US and everything, you don't keep quiet. You tell everybody, because that time, just even before going for the interview, it was almost, you used to tell everybody because you always knew that you get the visa. And it is until you get denied that you realize, oh my goodness, I should have shut my mouth, because everybody, now they are asking, are you going? Then you have to tell them, no, I was refused my visa. And that was very devastating. But anyway, so for me, it was very devastating. So many people knew. I was really, really embarrassed. So I told myself, I am not doing this again. So I stayed for several months. definitely, as I told you before, I had told very many people. So among some of the people I had told, one of them came to me and told me, "Oh, Jennifer, you remember you were refused the US visa?" Yeah. So now I know somebody who is helping people to go to the US. And once this guy helps you, you don't get refused. Oh my goodness. Have you wanted something so bad that when an opportunity or somebody offers you a way out, you grab it running? That's what happened to me. So for me, I was like, are you serious? Are you for real? Remember, I'm very young. So everything I'm being told and anything that is suggested to you, because somehow from a point of desperation, you want this thing so bad. So I really wanted it so bad that I wouldn't not take any opportunity to get me there. So I'm offered this opportunity, told to meet this guy. He will help me out. So we plan a meeting with this guy. So definitely I don't sell the idea to my parents first. Neither do I sell it to my brothers first. I didn't sell the idea to anybody. I just first wanted to go and hear what the guy has to offer, then know what to do. So I go and meet this guy. That guy's name was Jeff. I remember Jeff like it was yesterday. So I go and meet Jeff. Definitely when I'm going, I'm skeptical, because you remember, at this point in time, there was this wave whereby people are being conned left, right, center. So for me, I wanted first to ascertain it's not a scam. So I needed to meet the guy, listen, hear what he has to offer, because definitely I've tried it 2 times and I've tried it the legitimate way. So if he's offering me something legitimate, I will know. If it is something that is queer and funny, then definitely I will gauge and opt out. So I went and I met the guy. We went and met in a restaurant. So sometimes when the deal is too good, think twice. So when I went to meet Jeff, this did not sound like when the deal is too good, think twice, because everything started ticking the boxes. Because anybody who has conned people before, definitely from the location of where you're meeting, the appearance of the guy, everything would seem queer. So for me, going to meet Jeff, he took me to a very nice restaurant. We met in a nice restaurant and he was the one paying. So we met. We had, I think, a meal. I don't know whether it was over breakfast or lunch, but I know it was in a restaurant, a very nice restaurant. We had a meal as we were discussing and talking about it. And this is what Jeff sold me. So ideally, you get into a contract with him, then you pay, that time I remember it was $200. You pay $200, and ideally, he suggested, what he was offering was, he has somebody in the US Embassy who, when you go on the day of your appointment, he goes and he's a person who interviews you, and because it is his inside guy who interviews you, your visa is guaranteed. And because he has to make a living out of it, and the guy on the other side has to make a living out of it, that's why they charge $200. Then, this is the interesting bit that sold me and won me to the deal. So the idea is, if you think it's a lie, you commit yourself to $200. If you do not get the visa, he will refund you the $200 plus your embassy application fee. That time, if I'm not wrong, the embassy application fee was about 13,000 Kenya shillings. So imagine $200. So that time, $200 was about 20 something thousand Kenya shillings, I think. And then plus the 13,000. So you can see you have committed yourself to about 20 something thousand Kenya shillings. Then he's going to reimburse you if you don't get the visa, so that if the deal is not true, then you're going to get back that money that you lost, the $200, and your application. So clearly, you'll not have gone at a loss. So for me, that is what sold me to the deal. And now, I want to be very clear about something else that sold me out to Jeff, that made me trust him. in Kenya, we have this community called Kikuyus, and I have nothing against the Kikuyus. My relatives are Kikuyus, my friends are Kikuyus, so it's not about a tribal thing. I'm just trying to bring out how this sounded to me. If it was somebody from the Kikuyu community coming to sell me the idea, I would have tried to scrutinize it a bit more, or I'll have been more skeptical a bit, because they're very business oriented, you see. But this guy was Luo. I think Luo or Luya. I think Luo. And these people are not the business kind. They're the sophisticated, my learned friends of Kenya. So clearly, there was no reason why a Luo guy would want to scam me, because according to them, they are the proud people. They have money. And I can promise you, Jeff looked the part. He looked the part. He talked the part. Everything about Jeff was an American dream, an American dream, an American dream. So I got sold out to the dream, and I did not waste time. I quickly called my cousin. I have a very close cousin of mine that we're very close and very tight. So I felt like she's the first person who I need to tell this information to. Then she can help me gauge the information before we start working on it. And working on it means bringing my brothers on board, bringing my parents on board. So when I told my cousin, she was sold out as well. And then we were like, oh, so, and when I was talking to Jeff, because from there we exchanged numbers with Jeff, so we decided like, okay, we'll do it. And Jeff was like, in case you get other people, you recommend them to me, I will talk to them. So me and Jeff, we started this process of, yes. So definitely now I've told my cousin. My cousin is even interested. And now even Jeff had told me, yes, he's not limited to student visas only. He can also do visits. So then we decided, oh, why can't then we go together with my cousin, because my cousin can now go and visit. Wow, so the deal is becoming even juicier, isn't it? Then after we have had everything, all the information we need, seen the contract from Jeff, we go and talk to my parents about it. And definitely for somebody like my dad, he was skeptical. Very, very skeptical. My mom as well was skeptical. But because they were skeptical, they needed to scrutinize this thing further. So what did they do? They needed to see Jeff. So we invited Jeff to our home. And Jeff came home. My dad scrutinized him, my mom, they asked all the questions. And clearly, even my parents got sold to the idea. So we decided to do it. We committed $200. Jeff was not doing anything else other than to connect us to the person at the embassy. But this person, you don't get even to know him, you don't get to meet them. You will just know it's them at the day of the interview. That is according to how the story went. And so every preparation you need to do, like the paperwork, everything has to be to the letter. But again, Jeff wasn't very keen on the paperwork. He just wanted you to get yourself booked into an interview and then everything. So my cousin got herself an invitation letter. We paid the embassy fee, made the normal embassy application, got our bookings and everything. My time and my cousin's time, we booked the same time so that we go at the same time. After all, we are going to meet the same Jeff guy who is waiting for us, isn't it? And hello, give us our visas. So it was like, even before like the 2 interviews I had done before, I had really prepared. So this one, I didn't need to really prepare much, because after all, it's like a formality. I'm just doing the formality part. The visa is guaranteed and assured. So, lo and behold, after, I think the whole preparation and everything took like a month. And we got our interviews, and we went to the American embassy. So, the juicier part of this thing is, on the day of the interview, it is Jeff that, like, he's the last person. We went to Gigiri, Met him in Gigiri in a restaurant. He bought us like, oh my goodness. What is it? Creme de la creme. Oh my God, I'm even shoving. Creme de la creme breakfast. Like a very costly breakfast in Gigiri. And you know, he came there to assure us, yeah, you guys go. Immediately after you're there, you will give me a ring, and then you're going to celebrate, and then you're going to go. And the other thing was that sold us out to Jeff was, according to him, he told us we were going to the US around the same time he was also going to relocate back to the US. So, and this guy was going to a place in the US called, this name, I think it's because of Jeff. Up to date, I struggle to pronounce this name, but I will try. But it's not about the name. I'm just trying to show you how complicated it was. Massachusetts. Whatever it is, that's the name. I struggle to pronounce it up to date. I think Jeff did something to me about it. So, that's where he was going. So, according to him, we were just going, probably even fly out on the same day. So, how could we be wrong? How? So we eat a very expensive breakfast, and remember all these things, every time we meet in a restaurant, it is Jeff paying. And he's treating us so well, so sophisticated. We go into the embassy, we get checked in by the security, everything, and we go inside. Every other time I had gone to the US embassy, I never used to talk to anybody, because I had the assumption that the cameras are all over. They are watching you. So you're doing your interview from the time you enter the gate to so I never used to talk to anybody lest I present in a funny way. But on this particular day, we were so free. We talked. There were some hot guys, hot dudes. You know, when you're a young girl and you see a hot dude, and a hot dude sees you, definitely they have to find a way to get to you. So because my cousin is very pretty, and definitely I'm not bad looking, so definitely we attracted the opposite gender. So we had some people keeping us company there. So, and they were there for the interviews as well. So yeah, we had company, so at least we got people to chat with, exchange numbers, people who were going to pick up a friendship after even the interview day. So, along all that, I think our interview really took long, because I think we were there by 8 or 9 o'clock, and I remember we left at around midday. I went fast before my cousin. Hey, so this is the part where you say, tereng, 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 tereng. So I hear my name and I'm called to the counter. Immediately I'm called to the counter. Definitely, yeah, I feel some butterflies, because however, as much as this person knows me and is going to receive my papers and just do the formalities, I don't know them, and I still have to act the part, like I have to answer the questions right and everything. So it was a lady, a white lady. I can never forget this. And she was a young lady. So she asked me, so hi Jennifer, so what brings you here today? What uni are you going to? I think she asked me about 3 questions. What brings you here today? Which university am I going to? And why am I going to study why did I prefer the US and not Kenya? And then she asked me another question of what proof is there that I'll come back. And so I was answering the questions, but at the back of my mind, I'm thinking like, this doesn't sound like somebody who has been sent by Jeff, because the question she's asking and the way she's very keen, it doesn't seem like there's any connection with Jeff. Hello. Within like 30 seconds or less than 2 minutes, the interview was over. And I was denied. Yes, sadly, for the 3rd time, I was denied the US visa. You can imagine the rage inside of me. The rage inside of me. And immediately, I told myself, this is a scam. We have been duped. But the bad thing about it is I have no access to my cousin. And definitely, because once you get interviewed, you move. So I have to go outside. And somehow, luckily, by the time somewhere I was passing, my cousin was able to spot me from afar, and she could see I wasn't really happy. So I think she suspected. She couldn't really tell what it was, but I think she kind of suspected. A few minutes later, my cousin was also called, and as you can guess, her fate was similar to mine. Now, definitely the rage I had in me, I just wanted to call Jeff immediately and hurl insults, because how can he cheat me of my American dream like that? You know, I wanted to, oh my goodness. So, but from a very, from that I had to really think quick, because definitely I knew if I have been scammed by Jeff, chances are this thing is going to go so bad. So all I needed was to make sure I get a hold of my cousin immediately she leaves the embassy. So what I did, I decided, as much as you're not allowed to hang around the gates of the embassy, I stayed somewhere so strategic that immediately my cousin gets out, because you know, when you're inside the embassy, you have switched off the phone and stuff like that. So I wanted that immediately my cousin leaves the embassy, the first call that goes through is my call. Because if anybody else's call goes through, and probably it's Jeff's, and she says, we have not gotten the visas, something was going to go south. So I didn't want that. So I ensured that I was in a very strategic place. And what I started doing is I started like giving it some time, because I knew my cousin was not far from getting interviewed. So I gave it like, I think around 30 minutes. And after 30 minutes, I thought, now after 30 minutes, maybe give her about 10 minutes to go and get into the locker, get herself organized, and get her things and start walking out. As you're walking out, you can switch on your phone. So I wanted her, the minute she switches on her phone, I am the first person to ring her. And you can guess right. I succeeded with my plan. Immediately, because I kept on trying and trying and trying. And if you know me, I hardly give up. So I kept on trying and trying and trying. So immediately the phone went through. I was like, hey, have you gotten it? She told me, unfortunately, I've been denied. And she started like, this Jeff lied to us. I need to call him now. I told her, don't. That's why I was timing you. So please don't call him. Just come outside and I have a good plan for us. So please make sure you come outside. Okay? So my cousin comes outside. We embrace each other. We cry. We went to a place and cried. And immediately I met my cousin. I told her, switch off your phone. And I switched off my phone as well. Because I knew when anybody from home who calls us and we tell them we've not gotten it, world will go round so quick. And unfortunately, this word may go round so quick and get to Jeff. And that is what I didn't want. So I told my cousin, clearly, we have been duped. And Jeff is very clever. Jeff knew he has no connection with anybody in the US Embassy. He just used that tactic to lie to us and make money. And that's how he makes money. The referral that had given us contact to Jeff had told us somebody had succeeded through Jeff. But now in hindsight, I realized Jeff never used to know anybody. So he used to do it as his luck. So if you go and you get your visa, then you will come and thank him. And then he will use that as a testimony. But clearly he has nothing to do with it. And when you get denied, he will come up with a story so that he doesn't refund your money. And that's when he will stop picking your calls and stuff like that. So I knew that Jeff had nothing to do with it. He doesn't even know anybody. It's just because he's sweet talking. But if we continue, if he calls us and we tell him we've not gotten our visas, definitely Jeff will never pick our phones again, because he knows he's bound by the contract we signed, you know. And so when my cousin came out, I told my cousin, we cannot lose Jeff. We cannot lose Jeff. So I told my cousin, right now, anybody we talk to, the first thing is to tell them we have gotten the visas, so that it confirms to Jeff, in case somebody talks to him, that we already have what? Our visas. But when we get home in person, it's only our parents that we are going to tell that we didn't get the visas. But everybody else who knew that we were going to the embassy, we will tell them we got the visas. And so my cousin and I, we agreed on this. And then we said the first person, it's me, to call Jeff and congratulate him and tell him, oh, Jeff, thank you so much. You have done us so well. I've gotten the visa. So the journey is real. You're such a great guy. We need to meet and celebrate. And after I've done that, give it like 30 minutes. Then it will look like my cousin has also come from from her appointment. Then she will call Jeff and tell him the same thing, celebrate and thank him, then say, we need to meet. So, and we seal this deal. My friend, I tell you, you don't dupe me once, and then you think you'll get away with it. No. This American dream is a very big dream. You don't just get away with it. So, at that point, my cousin and I, we launched a mission called Mission Jeff. Mission Jeff. Mission Jeff was a mission of how we were going to get our money back. Stay tuned for the next video, because I bet you're itching like me to know how we got our money back. Stay tuned. You're watching Against All Odds. I'm your girl, Jennifer. And before you go, food for thought. When you want something so bad, so bad, like I wanted my American dream, that is a time to sit, relax, and take it slow. Because unfortunately, that is a time that you're most vulnerable. And every Tom, Dick, and Harry, Jane, Rose, and Mary can take advantage and dupe you. I'm all about mental health. It's against all odds. Bye.